Hello friends, today we will learn to make this landscape of a coconut tree in a village setting. We start by marking out the boundary or area where our structure would fall. So I'm looking at where the land would be or where the tree would be coming and giving some lines for hut and other areas as to where things will fall. At this point in time, I will not be too worried about the precision of how it looks like. A, because it is not a portrait of likeliness, and secondly, all I need to worry about is the height of the tree, the directions of the leaves, where the land and the foliage would be. So looking at the reference picture, I am giving directions of where the land is, water will fall, the tree would be, etc. And this is a stage where I am only defining the boundary of where things will fall. And then we will start shading. I'm giving the outline to the trees, forest or the foliage behind in the landscape as well, and giving it a very light shade so that I can smudge it with a cotton ball and work upon it later again. As the background is ready, I am giving some references to the trees and shrubs etc. coming in and blending it with a blending stem. Things which are far behind, you needn't worry about its shape too much as long as the darkness and the lightness, which is light and shadow, are in place. Giving a little better defined outline to the hut because we will be working on it soon, and seeing where the land would come. In this drawing, the hero would be our tree, which is our coconut tree, and the reflection of the water. Hence, I am very consciously giving lines as to where my tree's leaves will fall, which direction will they come on, what should be the length, etc. I will not be focusing too much on the hut per se, but giving a lot of attention on how I will be drawing the coconut tree and the reflection, because that is the beauty and the hero of our today's drawing. Rest of the elements which are not my leaves and reflection of the water, I will be working on it very quickly. Right now giving outline and more direction and elements to the land around the hut and giving it some shade to the foliage and the boundary line. While the water and reflection will take time, but the first step is always the base shade, which is what I'm doing right now, and smudging it with a cotton ball. Working on the coconut tree far behind, so I will not be giving it too details, but I'll still make sure that the stem is falling in the direction that I want and the further leaves of the fern which are in the direction that I wanted. Giving just the shade is helping, and I need not necessarily work in the details of each leaf falling. So from far off, that is how it looks, and it will work for our drawing. But in the main coconut tree and the density of it, we have to do a lot of work. This is the first layer which is coming in, and I'm making sure consciously that I'm drawing the leaves in the direction that I wanted. Not only I ensured that the leaves direction is what I want, but the leaflets, which is the further leaves falling apart from the leaf, and I'm making sure that I'm giving the right direction to that also across the tree. While it will be a repetition of what I'm doing right now till the end, but that is what will give the density of the tree. Now, many a times when the leaf is or the tree is very dense, you cannot figure out as to which leaf belongs to what part and what stem and what are the leaflets coming from, and hence it's okay to go a little haphazard and make leaves one over the other, because that is how, if you observe a tree outside, that is how it will be. You cannot figure out as to which leaf belongs to which branch, or in this case which leaflet belongs to which leaf, and hence it's okay to go over things. All I'm doing is right now covering the white area where I want the leaves to be, and of course we'll come again and again to give the darkness, etc. Make sure that after every layer you blend the leaves and move the blending stem in the direction that the leaves fall. Now second time over the reflection, I'm giving the vertical lines as in the reference picture. Back to the main tree, and once again giving it a darker shade. The process is the same, the direction of the leaf and the leaflets, that work will be repeated all across. And don't underestimate of what you have done earlier, which is the first shade or the first layer. Trust me, from the one that we are doing right now, which is a darker one, because we had done one earlier, that will give you the most dense effect, because it gives you a feeling that yes, there's something behind and there are multiple layers and many other leaves behind. So always go step by step in the layers. And as you see, the darker we are going, the more conscious I am with the direction, and I'm making sure that I'm leaving some space behind each leaflet, because that is how it looks natural, and I'm trying to give its tips the direction that I want it to be. Just follow through, and that is the process I'll be following across the tree. I'm blending it from time to time and giving the darker shades in the leaves that I've already made or I'm making even now. Later on, of course, I will give the darkest ones in the inner side, but that's a later time, one step at a time. Right now, let's cover the area with the leaves that we want. This is the most enjoyable part for me, touching the fresh area and where the highlighted tree will only fall and not, it's not part of the main cluster and falls outside, and that's what my favorite part is. Coming back to the main cluster and repeating what we have done. Don't forget to use the blending stem, it gives you the right effect to work again with the second layer or the layer over it. Covering the top of the hut also a bit and smudging it all. I had made the trees behind at a wrong place, so I erased it and smudged it with a cotton ball to remove the whiteness and drawing it all over again. As it was not the main character, we could do that, and hence I always say don't be afraid to make mistakes, because we can always correct it. Now placing the second tree at the right place that I want, and same process of giving tree leaves the direction and then leaflets which are falling from it. Working on the background a little. Once that cut's completed, I'll come back to the reflection and the main cluster of our leaves in the coconut tree. Now with the eraser pencil, what I'm doing is I'm giving the length of the tree a white highlight, because that is how it's coming out in the reference picture, and this will also give you the right, more highlighted direction as to where the tree leaf is falling. Now once this is done, I will be covering the sides of it with the darkness and further leaflets, and hence the dark and white or the highlighted areas contrast is going to bring out the beauty. If you see carefully, I am not shading all across. I am lifting my pencil and giving one line each to the leaflets, and some places I am scribbling it where I want the density to be shown or the darkness to be shown. Just observe and follow. And again, smudging it makes it easier for us to come back again, and it also gives you multiple effect and shades. The outside of the hut, there are a lot of elements there. After making the land, I'm giving some lines and shades to give an effect that yes, some things are placed outside. Perhaps there is a barricade or some things kept there. So if you see things from far off, your eyes catch that yes, something is placed, but you're not able to read it too well as to what it is, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. Giving some lines, erasing it with the eraser, and then giving some darker shades in between just to show the density of things and and a feel to our eyes that yes, there are multiple things placed there. And then we move on from there. To do something like this, all you have to make sure is that things are not constantly shaded. There are multiple elements in the area that you are shading. Like I said, I won't be working too deeply on the hut or any other element. For my today's work, my focus is the water and the tree. With the blending stem, I'm just moving some graphite down to show the reflection of the land which is there in the water. And of course, we'll work a lot deeply in the water area and the reflections. Back to the main cluster, and again giving the darkest of the leaflets and leaf and the shades. You don't have to make things exactly how it is in the reference picture because you will not be able to do that, and it's not the right or the fun way to do art or to be an artist. So what you need to see is in the reference picture which direction things are going, where are the dark elements, where are the dark values, what are the value range, and play with that. Giving some highlights in between because it brings the beauty out. Now time to work a little more deeply on the water or the reflection. With the kneaded eraser, I'm giving the lines of where the water is or the reflections are going, and again shading it with the pencil. This is a process that I will be repeating time and again. And now is the time when I'm giving a little thought to where I'm putting in the shades. And if you see, I'm erasing also a little consciously and not haphazard because I know where I want the erased lines to be. Erasing random areas in between to show some waves, and we'll be working more on it. This is a process I'll be repeating, which is giving shades, erasing for the waves, blending it with the cotton ball, and again giving some waves with my pencil or shades with my pencil. So erasing and alternately darkening the area with the pencil shade is going to give you the effect of multiple waves or water reflection, because like in the tree or the leaves, even water has depth in multiple shades and effects, and hence just doing this once is not going to give you that depth. We have to keep working on it again and again. We're almost towards the end of the artwork. Using the brush to blend everything. I'm not leaving too much of whiteness in between because water is showing reflection all right or the waves, but it will not be paper white, and hence some shade and effect has to be there. Cleaning up my eraser with a sandpaper. And as you see now, with the multiple erasing technique and leaving the pencil mark technique is giving you an effect of multiple waves, layers, reflection. All of things are coming in place now. We are at the end of the tutorial. Time to sign the artwork. This is how the final product looks like. Hope you liked the tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe for weekly updates.